So for those who are just joining us, I'll give a brief background of our first speaker, Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. He is the serving director of the Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute of Spiritual Culture and Science. Dr. Bhakti Madhava Puri earned his undergraduate degree at Rutgers University and completed a master's and PhD in theoretical chemistry from Georgetown University in 1970. After completing postdoc work at the National Bureau of Standards in Washington, D.C., Dr. Puri moved on to a rigorous study and practice of the Bhagavat Vedantic philosophy and Bhakti Yoga. He is one of the 5 founding charter members of the original Bhaktivedanta Institute in 1976 and became the regional director of the office in Juhu, Mumbai, India. In 2012, he founded the institute here in Princeton, New Jersey, and we are very blessed to have his association in our life, and we look forward to hearing what he is going to share with us all.
Is the Professor Sangeeta Menon is not here, in the chair of the session? No, I think she's not here yet. Okay, Maharaj, I think we can start.
Sripad Shant Maharaj, can I please have screen sharing?
So Krishna Keshava has prepared some slides for this talk. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to dedicate this talk to Srila Bhakti Sri Damodar Maharaj, who was the original founder of the Bhaktivedanta Institute in ISKCON under the direction of Srila Prabhupada, and who I worked with for many years, served with for many years, and has always been a very affectionate and kind and intelligent devotee from whose association I have gained so much in my own spiritual life. So first, we need to explain what we mean by intelligence. If we want to discuss artificial intelligence and natural intelligence, let's try to understand first what we mean by intelligence, and then by artificial and natural, it might become clear what we're talking about here. So the word intelligence comes from the Latin, and the meaning of intelligence in Latin, intelligere, is to understand. This is a very interesting meaning, to understand, because that would lead to the question of what does it mean to think of artificial understanding? Artificial understanding, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about artificial intelligence, but if intelligence means understanding, then what does it artificial understanding mean? So considering the word intelligence in terms of the conjunction of 2 other words, inter meaning between, and legere to choose or discriminate, may help us to recognize the significance of intelligence as understanding. It implies a judgment or discernment, discrimination, decision, or determination is being made. Now, a very important function of computers is to make decisions mechanically or mathematically by comparing 2 numerical data entries as greater than, less than, or equal to each other. In this sense, then, computers can be considered mechanical decision makers. Does this then qualify a machine as being intelligent? When the eye, as a sensor, senses the environment, an image is produced on the retina, and the intelligence discerns if an object in the image is bigger or smaller than another object. Comparisons, like bigger or smaller, are not done by the eye or retina, but by the intelligence. The retina, we know, is connected by an optic nerve to the brain. And somehow we consider the brain to be the seat of intelligence or the mind in a modern sense. But anyhow, without going into that problem, and what is the correct point of view on that, we understand that that the brain has something to do, or the mind has something to do with proper interpretation of the sense perceptions. So the sense data have to be processed through a program that performs the comparisons. The comparisons are not made with the sensors. The sensors do not make the comparison. They merely retrieve the data. But it's the intelligence that has to process that data and make decisions or judgments as to which is bigger, which is smaller, which is taller, which is shorter. Human intelligence, however, does not only make quantitative comparisons or judgments. More subtle, as clearly defined qualitative, ethical, emotional, and other types of decisions are also made. In this sense, computers may qualify for certain mechanical decision-making ability, but fall far short of the wider tasks of which human intelligence is capable. Artificial intelligence has never been referred to as artificial understanding. We don't consider machines capable of understanding what they are doing. They are capable of processing information, but we recognize that they do not understand what they are doing at a purely mechanical level. Defining intelligence of the ability to achieve goals in a wide range of environments, which has been mathematically formalized, may only apply when dealing with physical mechanical space. The subjective space in which human intelligence can function is not covered by such definitions. So these definitions that are used also in automated or autonomous cars, of achieving goals within a wide range of environments, which has been mathematically formalized. Applies not only in autonomous cars, but in robots and so forth, that people are trying to develop. Yet those types of systems deal only with the physical or mechanical space and time. The subjective arena is not covered by such calculations or such considerations. Basically, existing artificial intelligence machines lag far behind humans in terms of what they call general intelligence, which is sometimes defined as the capacity to learn how to carry out a huge range of tasks. They may be good at performing certain specific tasks, but beyond that, they are not capable yet. An important and fundamental distinction exists between the massive size of computational machinery compared to the size of the human brain, which would indicate a major difference in their functional operations from a purely material viewpoint. Materialist philosophy considers the physical brain and physical intelligence to be the same substance. Physical brain and psychical intelligence to be the same substance. But traditional philosophy has historically favored the distinction of subjective and objective reality. Whether it is a duality of non-interacting substances or a unity of interacting varieties of being has been a topic of concern in modern times. The more advanced thought on this topic tends toward a dialectical relation of unity and difference. This perspective would certainly disrupt the attempt to explain subjective intelligence in terms of computational decision-making. Sometimes this difference is described as a difference between programming and the physical computer itself. Programs are written by intelligent subjects or objective machines. It is said that Gödel had as his objective to show syntactic mathematics, and therefore mechanical computers, could not handle semantic logic and were therefore incompatible with meaningful human intelligence. For example, the meaning of the self-referential phrase, "This statement is false." It is false if it is true, and true if it is false, leading to its being undecidable. If we extend the problem of size and comparing computer to brain beyond the human, the difference becomes even more glaring. Aeronautic and navigational miniaturization in the military technologies is unable to imitate nature, for example, in the instance of the fruit fly or Drosophila, despite despite its very small brain size, maneuvers with precision and agility beyond any manufactured mechanical system at much larger scales. It also possesses sensory ability and carries its own energy source, making it viable for weeks. No mechanical system has been able to duplicate this at such minute scales. Plants should also be classified as intelligent based on their ability to sense and model external and internal environments and adjust their morphology, physiology, and phenotype accordingly to ensure self-preservation and reproduction. But they do not possess the neural network-based system or brains of animals. This means that computers based on neural network systems are not able to duplicate or explain natural intelligence in most of nature. Another important feature of plant intelligence is that the major system of a forest, for instance, is below ground in what is called the rhizome. There is a unity in plant life that is more important than the surface life of individual trees, and that makes the individuals viable, without which the individuals would perish. This unity and differentiation is an essential feature in all of life, including human, that is nonetheless most often ignored in scientific studies that take the atomic perspective analysis as the foundation of the scientific method. Computer programs are written with this fundamental atomic idea in mind. A more holistic approach is warranted, but computers are not well suited to such computations, as they are built upon an architecture of conjoined individual parts that are not holistically designed. Autonomous cars would be an example of artificial intelligence practical use, but such cars still have many problems, although promised years ago. The responsibility for any accidents in such cars are not held to be the fault of the computers or the programmers, but the intelligent drivers. Computers are not considered responsible agents. The fact that decision-making can be computerized does not mean that legal judgments or determinations can be made on the basis of artificial
On the basis of artificial
intelligent computers. No one would consider going to an artificial computer, a computer with artificial intelligence to make a legal judgment. Why? These limitations are important factors to consider in discussing the hype that now surrounds artificial intelligence and the way we think about it. A deeper understanding of what we mean by human intelligence is necessary, especially noted in the area of the scriptural study of the Vedas in particular. The human form of life is considered unique in awakening to one's spiritual nature. This is a philosophical issue requiring thoughtful inquiry and a religious matter involving meditation. Neither of these activities can be performed by computers. They are hardly performed by the average human intelligence, what to speak of computers, although it is their most unique and important ability as a human being. Anyhow, these are some of the thoughts that came to me on this subject, how we can distinguish and the importance of distinguishing this question of intelligence. I think it's a very important and central question as I mentioned here, it is a pivot that allows the human being to make a distinction, a most essential distinction between himself as spirit and as a material or a natural body. I won't go over time. This time, Professor Ward, last time I went too far over time. At this time, I'm trying to respect the time limitation. So you can speak without difficulty. And thank you very much for listening. My humble gratitude to all of you people.